Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome once again to Walk the Talk Sports. Wait a minute. The greatest sports talk show south of the Big Apple, east of the city of brotherly love. And here we are in the main room at Encore once again. Thank you. I want to say thank you to Michael Blank, Bill Johnson, KLVW-TV, Mike Marizio, the whole crew for putting us up here again, giving us the opportunity to bring sports news out to the village and thereafter. So we have a lot to talk about. We're in the midst of March Madness. The NFL draft is coming up in a few weeks. The baseball classic just ended last night with Japan beating USA with Ohtani striking out Michael Trout for the last out. But I have to say this. I'm a little sad because our main reliever, our closer, the best closer in baseball, got hurt during the World Classic, Baseball Classic. Edward Diaz, he's out for the year. And another injury happened to another superstar from the Houston Astros, second baseman Altuve. He has a busted thumb, has to be operated on, so he'll be out for a few months. My idea of it, before we start talking about it, I'll pass it on to Alex, is this classic should be played in November instead of before spring training or during spring training because, look, players get hurt, and now that we're lost for the whole season, which I think they're going to decide to do something about that. Alex, take it away.
No, I mean, first of all, thanks for everybody for being out there. What a great group out here today. But you know what? I mean, you already mentioned it, Rob. I agree with, obviously it only comes around, how many years does it come around? Every 4 years.
Yeah.
But still, you have folks that are signing millions and millions of dollars contracts, and then I get it, they're going and playing for their countries, but you stand to have a huge loss, like the Mets, Astros, even Machado. He stumbled going into the dugout. That could have been a nightmare for the Padres. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. But obviously, the pros that are getting paid huge contracts from these Major League Baseball teams, they take a huge chance of getting hurt, which we're seeing. That's what's happening.
I guess that's why Aaron Judge didn't show up. I mean, he didn't play for U.S. and a lot of Yankees didn't play. But I just wanted, before we get off the topic, a big shout out to Turner, Trey Turner from the Philadelphia Phillies. He had the most home runs in this classic over the years by more than any USA player. So he had a great series. If the USA would have won, he would have been MVP. But a shout out to him and to all you great Philly fans out there. I hate to say it, but yeah, that's it. Coming from a Met fan, that's right. So, all right. So we move on now to March Madness. Yes, sir. Yeah, let's get it, Alex. Let's go.
Well, first, I'm going to break down, obviously, the teams that made it to the Sweet 16. And I believe games start playing tomorrow evening. So we have out of the East, we have Tennessee playing, and Rob will touch on some of the crazy upsets we've had in March Madness. But Tennessee will be playing Florida Atlantic.
Yes.
And I believe they're playing at Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
Kansas is the other team. They're playing Michigan State in Madison Square Garden.
That's going to be a good game.
Then in the West, you have UConn versus Arkansas, UCLA versus Gonzaga. In the South, you have Alabama versus San Diego State.
All right. Okay.
San Diego State, one of my schools.
San Diego State.
San Diego State Aztecs.
Aztecs. Right.
Come
okay.
on,
I never remember that.
In the South, also we have Creighton versus, and you know how hard I searched. I just wanted to be a New Jersey person and New Jersey guy, not a California guy.
It's not going to work, guys. It's not going to work.
I searched for a Princeton sweatshirt and I couldn't get one. I asked my wife to go pick me one up today. She's too busy. So it didn't work out.
But wait a minute, didn't Boscov, usually they have college stuff there?
Yeah, they didn't have it. I called. I was going to go during my lunch and get one, but they didn't have one. But anyways, Creighton versus Princeton, the last survivors of a New Jersey college, but that's a great story. The Midwest, you got Houston against Miami and Texas versus Xavier. That's your Sweet 16.
And I know, did you mention Arkansas versus UConn?
Arkansas versus UConn,
Right.
correct.
So, I mean, as a Big East fan, you have Creighton, you have UConn, and I think Xavier is still alive. Yeah, Xavier is playing Texas. So you have 3 schools from the Big East, which is pretty good. You never know in the Sweet 16. But getting back to the beginning of the tournament, look, man, Princeton, I tell you, they beat Missouri in the second half, but in the first one, they beat Arizona. Yeah. Wow. They beat a second seed, and Princeton was the 15th seed. That is amazing. And FDU, Fairleigh Dickinson, beat Purdue from the Big Ten. I mean, they were a 14th seed beating a number 1 seed. So congratulations. See, this is why they call it March Madness, because especially in the early rounds, you'll get those upsets. And when that happens, your bracket, if you play a bracket for March Madness, say goodbye, because it's shot, really. But it's going to be exciting now, the Sweet 16, then the Elite 8, and of course then the Final 4. But exciting basketball, college basketball to come, and we're looking forward to it. We really are.
You know, I got 2 schools in there.
Go ahead.
San Diego State.
Go ahead. What conference do they play? San Diego State. What conference?
Back in the day, they played in the West.
Got him. See, if you're from the East, you would know what conference your teams play in. Am I right there, John, out back there? Am I right? Okay. Sam, what do you say, listen, Frank? That's it.
All I know is San Diego State's in the Sweet 16.
Okay.
And
you're right.
I'm a Tennessee fan, Tennessee Volunteer.
You know what, Alex? Tennessee could go. You know what? I could see that. I could actually see that. Yes, sir. That is a definite. So, anything else on college?
No, I mean, obviously, starting tomorrow night, we'll see where we go from there. We'll work our way to the Elite 8. I'm sure by the time we have another show, we'll be in the Final 4. Will we?
Yeah, it should be within 2 or 3 weeks. That's right. Sure. And we'll give you more information. Possibly on our next show and where it's going to be viewed. So it's exciting news. We're waiting to get more information on that. So keep your fingers crossed. It's going to be a doozy. It is. So we're off of college basketball. I'm going to quickly go into.
Hold on. So our next show, I want to tease.
Oh, you want to go in? Okay, I was going to save it to the end.
No. So obviously we don't know 100%. I'm 99.9%. So we've been asked to do Walk the Talk. And of course, you got to go through everybody. Everybody's got to be okay with it. But we've got asked to do it at Center Court at Manchester High School before their varsity game on April 18th. So I don't know if that's the next show. So obviously, we've had a lot of people involved. We've had a lot of support from the basketball referee, Mr. Snyder, who seems to know every athletic director and coach on the planet. Yeah. So that was a big help. And as well as, we went to several games this year, and we've talked about Manchester sports and Shore Conference in general. Yeah. And so I think they're excited. I think they want to build that community relationship. So we're going to invite all of you and hopefully more to come and support Manchester High School. That's a plus for them. And, it's a lot of fun for us. We have you great folks to be our cheerleaders, but man, you imagine we're going to have some real cheerleaders.
It is, and it's because when we found out that there was a possibility of this show happening, it's right before boys volleyball.
Who would have thought?
Right, boys now, not girls volleyball. This is boys, and apparently it's been taken off.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
They got a JV team and a varsity team.
Yes.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. Yep.
There we go.
So that's great news.
April 18th.
Yes.
There we go. All right.
All right. NBA, quickly, just the standings and the NHL. NBA, Celtics 76ers are tied for first. The season's going to end, I think, in a few weeks, so it's coming down to the wire. The Knicks are in third, followed by the Nets, Toronto. Division leaders now in the NBA are Denver, Sacramento, and Memphis. All right, so that, and I think, yes, and I think Yeah, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat are leading their division. Now in the NHL, Boston, I've been saying this all year, the Boston Bruins, top dog. They have 111 points. They continue to really knock it out of the park. They're going to be the heavy favorites for the Stanley Cup championship in the NHL and hockey. Toronto, Tampa, that's the Atlantic Division. The Metro Division, where the Rangers, Islanders, and Devils play, it's Carolina, New Jersey, followed by the Rangers. And the Islanders and Pittsburgh are sitting in the wild card seat. It's narrow, but they have to win. The teams behind them out of it, or maybe 2 or 3 points, like Florida, they're right behind them. And in the Central, it's the Dallas Stars, Minnesota, and Colorado is in third place in the Central. And finally, the Pacific, Vegas. The Knights has stepped up. They're in first place, followed by the LA Kings and the Edmonton Oilers. Look, playoff hockey is a different breed. You run into a hot goaltender, he can carry you. Anything goes. And compared to, yes, I know baseball and basketball, football too, but hockey, for some reason, come playoff time, you open those doors, it's a different aspect, boys. You don't have time, you don't have space for people that don't understand hockey, but it's very, very exciting. So that's the NHL and the NBA. Okay. What do you want to touch on? Want me to start golf?
Let's do golf.
Okay, and then we'll do the NFL. All right. I'll go. All right, last week we had the Vasper Championship in Florida. Taylor Moore won, shooting a 10 under par. And I tell you, it was close, the final round. I would say up to the 15th, 14th hole, where some name players like Jordan Spieth missed some easy putts to draw even or go ahead, and they missed. So he held on with a 10 under, and he won that championship. A week before this championship, and one of my favorite golfers who won the Phoenix Open when we were in Phoenix to witness it, Scotty Scheffler won the Players Championship, shooting a 17 under in the final day, windy, very windy conditions. And if you ever watch it on TV, the 17th hole in the Players, it's an island, water. So if you go too far past the pin, too far left or right, or too far in front, guess what happens? It rolls, bloop. So many players. I mean, I think last week I witnessed 2 players shooting a 7 on a par 3. Imagine. Made me feel good for my golf game, but man, that's a tough hole. If they're having problems with it, it's pretty hard. And that's it with, before I forget, the new league. You want to talk about it, Liv.
No, I mean you can tell who the winner was. I am going to talk about Liv.
I have the winner here, but I'm just going to say it's a different breed of golf where they play team aspect. There's teams of 4 players, and then that's one award. They win money for that prize, and then there's the individual player with the best score, of course. Big money, but it's just that you hear music in the background. It's just laid back. They wear shorts. It's just a different aspect. And apparently, if you read the papers, the ratings on TV, it's not too good, but I enjoy watching it, and so did Alex. So, but if you get a chance, yeah.
We talked about this on the last show. The whole Live. Rob and I, at least for myself, I was on the fence because you had a bunch of golfers that left and went to this Live organization that's funded by Saudi Arabia.
And name golfers. I mean, these
big
are
name golfers,
right.
And Saudi Arabia is paying them tons of money that they probably could quit after the next game and just live the rest of their life out. But I was on the fence of it. I was on the fence of the tradition of the PGA, going to something like this. But God, I tell you what, the last couple of tournaments, I mean, I'll be on the phone with Rob. Are you watching Live?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're watching it. And, it's just a different golf game. They're allowed to wear shorts, no more traditional wearing pants, for like the PGA players. Like Rob said, your music on the background. I told Rob, I felt like I'm hearing songs that I'm hearing at Styx. I'm hearing all this crazy
Yeah,
music
did.
going on, and they're making tons of money, and so I still go back and forth. I do enjoy it. I find myself on the weekends flipping back and forth from Live to PGA tournament. I guess they both. I mean, I guess there's good things about both, but I have read, I mean, definitely they're spending so much money, and the TV coverage isn't as good as the PGA, but PGA's been doing this for many years. So, but they are a lot of fun. Like I said,
And you're going to laugh at this. Alex and I put in our application to work as volunteers. They have a tournament up in the Bedminster, Trump's International, whatever that is, in August. So, you know, if we get accepted, I know they do background checks. I volunteered for this 1 year when the Super Bowl was here at MetLife, and I did it for the All-Star game in the city, I think in 2013. They do a background check, but hopefully Alex and I, if he's not a criminal, maybe we can get on. So we'll see what happens.
At one time in my life, I had a top secret clearance.
Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah. All right. So that's Live. That's golf. Oh, golf. So on a more home front golf, I'm going to talk about it. So obviously, I'm sure everybody sees on Facebook. They see on all the different sites that are in the village that the Bocce Club is putting on April 1st a golf tournament. Rob and I started out as this would be a great April Fool's joke, bocce playing golf, and we went with it. You know, we've had a great turnout of folks that want to play, people that want to volunteer, people that just wanted to give something, because it's going to be the kickoff for Autism Awareness Month, and so it is Bocce at the Pines Autism Awareness Golf Tournament. So we've chosen Doug Flutie Jr. Autism Foundation to give to. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of teams. The teams are still welcome to. I don't know how quickly this will air, but we're going to cut off, I believe, next Tuesday, the folks being able to sign up to play, just because we need to get it. We need to finalize everything before we play the following weekend on the 1st. So it's a lot of fun. I appreciate. There's been numerous clubs in this village, and I appreciate all of you, and I will speak of each and every one of you on our next show, but a lot of clubs that have given just to give, to sponsor a hole, to be part of this, so I appreciate all that as well.
Yes. Okay, NFL. Here we go.
Jets are still looking for a quarterback.
Yes, we are. It could be by July 4th, could be by Christmas, or it could be never.
And I've told you already, and I told Frank, guess who you're getting? Carson Wentz. That's what's going to happen.
All right, you know, as a Jet fan, you know what hurts me? It came out yesterday that the team we hate the most in our division, the New England Patriots, are looking into Lamar Jackson. So here we have the Jets waiting for Aaron Rodgers to what? Maybe it's not him, it's Green Bay.
I don't think it's him.
It's the Packers.
I think it's the Packers, and the Jets can't come to agreements. The Packers want a lot, and I don't think the Jets want to give up that. Like that.
If I were the Jets, the only way I would give up my first rounders or whatever I give the house to is for Lamar Jackson. 10 years younger, he can beat you many ways, and then you're going to let a team like New England really, I mean, I don't think he's going anywhere, but still, it scares the hell out of me as a Jet fan to see that in the papers that New England is looking into that, you know, that deal. But before free agency in a few weeks, I mean, before the draft, I should say, a lot of teams have made some major moves. Carolina, I mean, picking up Sanders, the running back from the Eagles, Adam Thielen, the receiver from Minnesota. I mean, they are making some big moves. I don't know if they're going to move up in the draft to get a quarterback, or did they? They did already. The Bears, right? Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to correct your. Did you say Minnesota?
He came from Minnesota.
Minnesota. We you know what? We have this issue, Rob and I, with our friendship because I'm not catching on to the whole New Jersey
saw
thing.
Minnesota.
He keeps telling me he saw stuff, and I said, "You saw stuff, Rob." No, we saw stuff. So now you're saying Minnesota.
Minnesota.
You and Natalie.
That's right, Minnesota. That's the New
All right.
York, Brooklyn
Go on.
way.
I
It's
just wanted to
okay.
bust your chops.
Well, how do you say it? Oh, I'll say Vikings. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right.
And the Lions picked up David Montgomery from the Bears, so that's really a switch on all. But my favorite, and this came out today, believe it or not, Jimmy Garoppolo, signed with the Las Vegas Raiders, okay? And it came out today that some of the dancers, the new dancers, offered him lifetime sex as a Raider. Imagine that? Imagine that, folks? That's Raider Nation, baby. Yeah.
Only in Las Vegas.
That's right.
Only in Las Vegas. And it's funny because there's a lot of new folks here, so they don't know that although you were a loyal Jets fan, Rob is a closet Raiders fan.
That's my second team.
And so we go back and forth because for those of you that know, I'm a huge Charger fan. I grew up in San Diego as of the San Diego Padre jersey. And so that's another one of our battles of our friendships here. Raider Chargers.
I think that was the first battle.
That was the first battle.
That was the first battle.
It's just
before the Padres and the Mets.
It was the Raiders.
Right.
Chargers. Yeah, because growing up,
That's right.
you learned to hate the Raiders as a
because when we had our first draft this past year, every time I made a selection, I said the Raiders Nation select. And right in his ear, I kept on saying it. Right, every selection I picked, it was in his ear. Raiders. And meanwhile, who came in next to last? I did. All right. I'm just going to wrap up now. I don't know. Hopefully, some soccer fans out here. I'm just going to give the Italian and the English league. In the Italian league, the top 5 teams once again: Napoli, Lazio, Inter Milan, AC Milan, and Roma. Those are the 5 top in the Italian league, Serie A. In the Premier League, English, it is Arsenal, Manchester City, Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur. Hopefully, Diane, I said that right.
Yeah.
And Newcastle United. Now, I mentioned this in the last episode. Europe plays in this championship league where you combine the Italian league, the English league, and in that, I think the next games are going to resume, I think, April 11th. So that's exciting. And I know a lot of these teams that are in the top 5 in the Italian league and the English league made it to the championship league, and they're still alive. So that's exciting soccer coming down the road for that. And that is soccer. Okay. I'm good.
You're good? I'm just going to briefly touch because I know that if I don't, I've had folks, let me look. I don't see them out there. All right, I've had folks get after me because I haven't mentioned NASCAR, so I'll mention it.
Good.
Last weekend, the Cup Series at the Ambetter Health 400, Joey Logano was the winner. And I believe that was in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, or Hampton, Georgia, it says.
I think you're
Joey Logano.
Yeah, there it is.
There we go.
Okay.
There's your.
Well,
your
I mean, after it's going to build up as the year goes. I mean, after the Daytona, but it will. High school.
I'm ready.
Go ahead. It's all yours. You got the floor.
Favorite part. So, as we've talked about in the past, we love to mention folks that either have a relative, like a youth athlete, grandchild, a friend that's got a grandchild that's has accomplished, is accomplishing a lot in their sports. So it's my favorite part to talk about the younger people. I mean, we can talk about NBA and NFL and Major League Baseball all day long, but to recognize some of these younger people.
Right.
I mean, I'm gonna step back. The last show we had, we talked about Devin Quigley. She's a guard. She's a junior at Manchester High School. So I'm going to talk some Manchester. And if you haven't noticed, Rob and I have our own version of the Manchester Hawks. This is our good friend at Pacer Sports.
Right.
Made us some of these Manchester Hawk hats.
And look what's on
Those
here.
little walk the talk sports on the side.
We're going big time.
Yeah.
We're going big time. Yeah.
And don't let me give a little secret out that he's already making a little walk the talk sport hats to for us to fling out, I guess, and everything. So, anyways, Devin Quigley, a junior, Manchester High School. We went and watched her play a month ago, I guess it was. Incredible. This is a young lady. This is a girls' varsity basketball. Incredible young lady. We were shocked. It was funny because that was a playoff game that Manchester was in, and actually Mr. Schneider was reffing that game. And so it was funny as he was running back and forth up and down the court, and we were just in awe of this young lady playing. You know, he sort of went by and said she will easily score 30
Yeah, she's
points.
good for 30, yeah.
She scored 35 points.
Yeah.
So, so I read an article this last week that in the Shore Conference Network that she as well won first team all defense. So not only being one of the best scorers in the state, she also obviously her defensive play with 105 steals. Devin Quigley. So props to her. What a great accomplishment. She's a junior. She's got one more year. It'll be exciting to watch her next year play. It was exciting to watch her.
Yeah, I mean, when we were there, I thought she was a senior, and we found out afterwards, I guess Princeton was there.
Rutgers
was there. So,
watch her play.
yeah. So really, that's awesome job. Really.
So now I'm going to get into when I love to talk about when we actually have LVW residents that email and send over Rob and I, friends or a family member, a grandchild or whatever accomplishments. And I have two here, so I'm going to read a few of the things that was sent to me. This one is from Phyllis Gudowitz.
Right there.
Phyllis.
Ping pong.
Who, by the way, was a great friend of Priscilla and I's Bob Hawk, Priscilla's stepdad.
Ah, very nice.
So,
very nice.
Bob's no longer with us, but she was a great friend. She sent us a lot of great pictures of back in the day, Bob here in the village doing his ping pong gig and everything. So that was a nice event. So I just want to, I didn't print everything, but I do have quite a bit here. So I just want to share. So Phyllis's granddaughter, Kylie. So I'm going to read a couple things here. So Kylie, this is crazy stuff. Both of these articles I have today are nuts for these young ladies. So Kylie, how wrestling, hang on, let me read this thing. How wrestling, she dominated the Shore Conference Girls Tournament title with How's, I'm sorry. Kylie spent much of the season wrestling for Hal's boys team, but she also was a legitimate contender for the state's girls title. And there was a great article that came out. It talks about Kylie has already made Howe High School wrestling history this season. The freshman, according to Howe head coach John Gagliano.
By the way, those Italian names, Alex.
By the way, Coach Gagliano, he actually was the coach of the year, I read, in wrestling. So he was the coach of the year in boys wrestling for the whole Shore Conference. Is the first girl to wrestle for the school's boys team in his 26th season.
Woo!
So right now,
is she, what is she,
113. So right now,
is she a senior? What is she?
She's a freshman.
Oh, freshman.
So right now, our starter at 113, the coach said. She works hard. She's a year-round wrestler. When she's not wrestling in Howell's boys matches, Kylie has already made a name for herself in the girls scene. Monday, she powered her way through the Shore Conference Girls Tournament 114-pound championship at Jackson Liberty High School with a dominant 14-0 major decision over the top seed and returning 107-pound finisher Caitlin O'Reilly. So it goes on to say that Kylie began this season by winning the 116-pound championship at the first Beast of the East Girls Tournament.
I like that. Beast of the East. Not the West,
yeah.
the East.
So she's got great technique, Coach says. Kaylee has wrestling in her blood. Her father, Mike, was a scholastic teammate of the coach in the 1980s. So
yeah, that was my next question. I was going to ask, where does she get it from?
So it must be in the it's in
wow.
the blood.
Yes.
So and I have some great photos of Kylie, and so what a great accomplishment. I can't even imagine, the stepping out there. And I think I read some articles that she's not at all intimidated by the boys. She already goes into it knowing they're stronger than her, and so she just does what she's got to do.
That's it.
And
so
it's a great
fearless. That's right.
That's great. So another one, the last one I have was sent to me actually by Chuck and Gail Lupo. That's some good friends of theirs. This is here locally as well. So their granddaughters, the Jensen sisters. So we have Polly, who plays 14U for the Princeton Tiger Lilies, where she's the captain on the team. She also plays hockey as a freshman at Central High School on the boys team.
So this is hockey we're talking about.
This is hockey.
So it's like the Hanson brothers. You remember that movie? There was the Hanson brothers. They get out there and wow, that's awesome. Jansen,
so she's playing on the boys team as a freshman as well. And actually her team just won, where now they're headed to California for a national championship on March 30th. That's what again, Chuck and Gail sent me some great pictures. I wish I could display some photos of the great photos I got from all of them, but we'll get to that point. So the Jensen sisters, so that's the 14U. Now we have Velia. Man, it's all this Minnesota. Giagulo.
Wait, guys, is it me? Is it me?
So, anyway,
he's the only guy that's having a problem with it.
So we have
everybody else.
So we have the younger Jensen sister who plays 12U, who just helped her team win a 12U championship as well and everything. So and then I was reading on that obviously it must be in the family. So now they have a younger brother, Pete, who now he's playing 12U division hockey. So it looks like this whole entire family, again, as we talked about the whole wrestling being brought down from the father to the daughter to now we have 2 daughters and a son. Everybody's playing hockey, everybody's winning championships. And it's exciting to see, the youth to, accomplishing so much. And I'm glad that people are sending us this stuff because it's great to talk about.
I'm going to tell you, to me, what's amazing, you're talking about females. Now you're talking about a female in wrestling that walks onto and doesn't fear anything against boys. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
In this day and age, and even hockey. I mean, it's great. And you know what? Over the years, the programs, you have to give credit to the parents because it's time. Hockey, I know, is an expensive sport. It's time, travel, and everything. And even in wrestling, I mean, parents really, a child makes that commitment, and the parents are right there with them. And I hope maybe we can have some of these youngsters come on our show and we can have an interview. Yeah. That'll be awesome. I think that would be nice. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think? Right? Yeah.
So, it's one of my favorite parts. Like I said, we can talk about all the professional athletes all day long, but to talk about accomplishments of these young people, these are freshmen. Yeah. A couple shows ago, unfortunately, we talked about Priscilla and I's grandson. I mean, he's 12 years old as well, and he's a nationally ranked hockey player. Matter of fact, we're going to go see him play in Pittsburgh this summer. He travels all over. Again, it's a huge commitment. Our son-in-law and our daughter, thank goodness, that they have invested so much in Turner because he literally, for a 12-year-old, I don't know, he must have some great miles on airlines because he literally travels every weekend to another state to play. So, but it's great to hear the stories of the wrestling and of the hockey and, even the local high school, getting to go watch some of the games.
Right.
I mean, that's where it gets fun. I mean, the guys that are making the millions and millions, it's fun to talk about them, but this is the fun
they were
part
there at one point in their lives also. But listen, I mean, everybody in the audience, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, if you have anybody, a nephew, grandson, whatever, or a friend that has, just give us that information. We are more than thrilled to really give you that information, give you the news of such great stories. And hopefully, like I said a few minutes ago, we can have them on our show as an interview. Yes, that's awesome.
So one last thing, obviously, we already went through football, and I forgot to mention, we talked about, the golf here in the village with the autism deal. But one thing that we are, and it's a ways out, and I'm sure during the show you'll see Rob and I's email come across the bottom of the screen. But you're welcome to join us. That Walk the Talk is going to have our second annual. Last year we did it. We had a group of folks that came with us. It's a great experience. But in October 7th, we're going to take the C Street Ferry up to West Point.
From the Highlands.
We're going to watch Army play Boston College. Go Army. We had a few of us join us last year, and it was a great, great, great day. So obviously it's a ways out, but if you're interested, send me a message. I'll send you the link to join us. And October 7th, put it on your calendar.
It's a great time of year. It's we carpool to the Atlantic Highlands. We take the ferry up. It stops at the base of Wall Street, and then we head up the Hudson. And the fall season, it's a beautiful time. Hopefully we get a nice fall day. And I'm so disappointed I missed it last year, and I'm looking forward to making it this year. Really am. That's it. We're good? All right, everyone. Once again, guys, really, this was a nice audience tonight.
Oh.
Go ahead.
It'd be crazy. I forgot. So yesterday, was it not Mike's birthday? Mike Rizio.
No, the other Mike.
Mike Murzio.
Mike Rizio.
Oh, Rizio.
Happy birthday, Mike. Happy birthday, Mike. Yeah. And for everybody at KLVW, thank you for allowing us to do what we do. Happy birthday to you. We're looking forward to see some of you out at the golf tournament. Come out there and hang out with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't guarantee you how I went out the other weekend with Rob and Frank, and I got a citation for they thought I was taking down trees. That's just how it worked out.
No, he put in an application for the Parks Department, tree removal, stuff like that, mulch, that's what he does, but it's okay. He'll have his better day.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. He will.
Anyways, all right.
Yes. What else I was going to say is that, once again, thank you for sharing this time with us. We look forward. Now, look, there is a lot going on in this village. The patio's been worked on. The pool's been worked on. Down the road, bocce courts are going to be worked on. Hopefully, we'll be out there doing a show, either from the pool, the bocce courts, or the new patio, and we look forward to that when the nice weather comes around, which is sooner than later, I hope. So once again, thank you all, and remember, keep it between the lines.